And what we learn in university as dentists, it's kind of like a fluoride deficiency. But it's not a fluoride deficiency. Tooth decay is literally a deficiency of nutrients. The mouth is actually the gut. The gut starts here and it ends there, right? And in between is this huge tube. You have a microbiome in there called the oral microbiome that is the most diversified and second largest to the gut. So basically we got a little bit soft in our generation, and that shows in the body. Body gets soft. You get soft, weak teeth because you're depleted of nutrients. And these soft, weak teeth show in soft, weak bones.
Dr. Dominik Nischwitz, also known as Dr. Dom, is a pioneer in biological dentistry and the founder of the Biodentistry Global Standards. His approach merges biological dentistry, functional medicine, and health optimization to address the root causes of chronic illness. First and foremost, let's start off by talking about why nutrition is so important for our dental health.
That is the foundation. Like in nature, our teeth are hard as stone, like granite, right? And that is only by eating real food. They're getting built from within. It's living outside, it's getting sunlight on the skin, producing vitamin D3, and then vitamin D3 together with K2 brings in all the minerals into your bones and your teeth. That's nature, that's normal. So we're immune against tooth decay if our lifestyle and nutrition is correct. Unfortunately, where we live in the Western world, number one chronic disease is tooth decay. And that is decay of the overall body. It's crazy, right? So I think it's above 90%. So tooth decay is, and what we learn in university as dentists, it's kind of like a fluoride deficiency. But it's not a fluoride deficiency. Tooth decay is literally a deficiency of nutrients, such as minerals, vitamin D3, K2, healthy proteins, stuff that you would get from real good food, but you don't get it from processed foods, especially not from ultra-processed foods. So we can go into this.
Absolutely. I want to ask you specifically about the environment, because you just said already something that should be a huge aha moment for everybody. We think about food in relationship with our teeth as something external, right? We don't get the wrong stuff on our teeth. We don't want sugar to decay our teeth.
True.
But you said that our teeth are made from our food.
Yeah.
And we don't really think about that. So talk about how our nutrition is making our teeth.
Okay.
What are the best stuff to do that? And also just the environment, the microbiome, the oral microbiome in particular.
So yeah, I understand. Your teeth they are hard as stone, but they're actually little tiny organs, right? So they're an extension of your brain. And in these teeth, like with every other organ, we have a blood supply. So blood is coming into your teeth. We have a nervous system in there and a lymph supply. So obviously, whatever you eat that gets assimilated through the gut and everything goes into your bloodstream and also goes into your teeth. So if you're depleted overall, and teeth are a storage unit for minerals and stuff, they decay. That is from the inside. But also teeth get remineralized all the time from the outside, which is the saliva. So in the mouth, the saliva is kind of like a miracle liquid that contains peptides, it contains growth factors, it contains your immune system and digestive enzymes and minerals and things that build your teeth from the outside. But obviously only if you have those in your system. So if you're completely depleted or if you're in stress, maybe you realize when you're in stress, you even have less saliva. Kind of like getting a dry mouth. If you're super stressed, you have to run from a tiger, super dry mouth. So it's multifactorial how to build teeth from within, but there's a solid biochemistry around it. What was the second question?
The microbiome, oral microbiome.
Exactly. So the mouth is actually part of your body. Most people think it's outside. Even us as dentists, we're trained to kind of like use the mouth as a garage system. There's teeth that you can bite on. You can just repair those. But the mouth is the entrance to the body. The mouth is actually the gut. The gut starts here and it ends there, right? And in between is this huge tube. And in your mouth, it's kind of like the tiny ecosystem in the bigger ecosystem, the hotel lobby of the whole house, of the whole hotel. And you have a microbiome in there called the oral microbiome that is the most diversified and second largest to the gut. So they found up to 700 different species of, let's say, bugs in your mouth, completely individual and dependent on substrate. But we are only always talking about the back door, basically, which is the large intestine, where the colon and stuff. But the microbiome in your mouth, because you swallow about 140 billion bugs per day, makes up parts of the gut microbiome. So when we talk about gut health, You cannot stop. You cannot start after the lobby. You have to start at the front door and clean that out. Because if it's shitty here, it's going to be there too. So it's super important. And the ecosystem in your mouth is dependent on your nutrition again. So the microbiome of someone who lives ancestrally, like our ancestors did, we only ate real food outside, no chemicals, no processed foods. It's a complete different one than what we have these days with standard American diet, eating ultra processed foods. Because these bugs, they like to eat something, right? And I call it the substrate. And we know from studies from my hometown in Tübingen, Germany, that the microbiome actually changes within 12 to 24 hours, depending on substrate. So, for example, a baby that gets breastfed has a complete different oral microbiome and specifically gut microbiome than the baby that has the formula, for example. Or if you would change your diet from standard American to, let's say, a more animal-based one or paleo one, or let's say even vegan or vegetarian, it's completely different.
Right.
So within a very quick time.
Yeah. That's so powerful. We have so much agency to change.
Yes.
So I want to ask you specifically, since we're talking about the environment, just thinking about this miracle solution that we have with our saliva, and understanding that if we don't have it in our bodies, we can't make that kind of enriching wash that's constantly there to support our teeth. What are some specific foods that can support our oral microbiome, that can support healthy saliva? And also, of course, our teeth need some work as well to be able to like actually chew on things.
True.
So what are some foods that you've known to be really good for supporting our dental health?
So literally, real whole foods, like anything you could chew on that allows you to chew harder, is what builds your teeth, makes them stronger, and also your bones and your jaw muscle. It's basically progressive overload for these muscles and make it stronger. We had, like, our ancestors had space for way more teeth than us. We even had 2 sets of wisdom teeth. So we just degenerated over the years. And now we're actually living in de-evolution. So just meat, fish, eggs, real food, and also the plants. A raw carrot is super good to chew on. You know how hard it is. Or even just some beef jerky. Just clean stuff that you have to chew is great. It supplies the body with the right nutrients. So I would always think of nutrition as in, like, food is basically information and nutrients in there. So you want to have the most bang for your buck. Get stuff that literally is loaded with micronutrients. And we know that even, so plants are mainly, I would say plants, we get all the minerals from plants, and we get a lot of vitamins from the animal world. So I'm a fan of balance. I do both. I'm not a fan of the extremes. I tried it all. From the carnivore to the vegan. I think we're omnivores, and it's all about finding your own individual food design, but there's certain rules to it. But get the most bang for your buck nutrition. We know that we live in a life or in a world where soil is depleted, where you have to maybe actually buy organic or invest in local farmers. But think of food as in terms of nutrients, building blocks, which is protein. We need protein also to build our teeth and collagen. The other nutrients would be energy nutrients, carbohydrates, and fats. None of these is bad. They're healthy forms of carbohydrates. They're healthy forms of fats. We just need to know what. Fruit, vegetables. And if you can get those in and skip the ultra processed stuff, you're quite good. Because we should rather ask what makes our teeth weak. Why are they getting weak? Because if we're hunters and gatherers, we basically eat what we can fish, what we can farm, what we can hunt, and maybe a few things that we collect, like let's say fruits and berries and stuff. But we're able to now eat a lot of processed foods that are usually quite soft. We could even order in foods that are just smoothies and drinks. So basically we got a little bit soft in our generation, and that shows in the body. Body gets soft. You get soft, weak teeth because you're depleted of nutrients. And these soft, weak teeth show in soft, weak bones and soft everything and more body fat and these things. So what makes your teeth weak is basically eating nutrient depleted foods, ultra processed foods. Let's say flour, refined, or let's say, the refined flour, you can say, gluten containing, processed sugar, even dairy oftentimes is an issue, conventional one. The seed oils, all the stuff we're talking about, but basically man-made foods are not they're not nutritious. They might taste amazing because they're let's say they're creative designers behind it so that our taste buds love it and we eat the stuff. But does it give you these nutritions you need? No. So I think we're living in a time where we oftentimes have too much empty calories. We eat a lot, but actually we are depleted of certain nutrients. That's bad. And I'm teaching thinking nutrients. So all the guests that see us for their health optimization in the mouth, we put them on an anabolic protocol before they even see us. That's mandatory to get into the clinic. Put them on real food. And usually the phase one is you can lose a lot of body fat first. So it's high nutrients, low calorie, because you have a lot of calories stored. I think 1 kilogram of body fat equals to 7,000 calories. So if you have 10 kilograms of fat, just use those 70,000 calories first. And by that, you need to know how to do this. But the benefit is it's an investment in your health. Overall health will benefit. You have stronger bones, you get more muscle, and you get stronger teeth. And you keep strong teeth. You never see a dentist for repair. So seeing a dentist for repair is the worst. That's already the downhill spiral.
Yeah.
So the worst for your teeth is seeing a drill.
Man, that's
really bad.
That's scary stuff. That's the stuff of nightmares for a lot of people. But what you're doing is understanding our teeth are a part of our overall health and our overall body. And it's not something separate. And we tend to think that it's separate. And also in the education and training, we're going to come back and talk more about that in just a second. But I got to ask you, do you have any favorite foods?
Literally, the favorite foods for oral health is the food that nature provides that are single ingredient foods. Okay. That's it. They're all good. An apple a day keeps the dentist away. It's usually the doctor, right? Yeah, but eat an apple. It will naturally clean your teeth. You won't have the biofilm, the fur on your teeth. Eat goldfish crackers. Everything sticks on there for hours, right? Drink a Coke. It's going to be the fur. And this is contact time. This is the tooth decay. Or eat raw carrots. Your teeth are clean. Eat a steak. Teeth are clean. So single ingredient real food is usually the best for your teeth. There's certain tiers when it comes to processed. So I'm eating processed food too. So basically white rice is processed food. But I think it's still okay. Tubers are great food too. Even though they might be a bit more sticky, I think they're highly nutritious. If you maybe eat the skin of a sweet potato, it even cleans more of your teeth. But then there's ultra processed foods. That means they're completely depleted, oftentimes a mixture of fats and carbs, and that make you addicted. Those are the worst for your teeth. So the tooth decay culprit is not necessarily only sugar, what most people think it's sugar. Yeah. There are many of those culprits, but it's actually contact time with the processed food for the bacteria that like to eat them. If the stuff is on your teeth for some time, then they build their houses, the more specific bacteria, or let's say more pathogens, then they eat it, then they produce the acids, and then it's going towards demineralization of your teeth. And if demineralization overpowers remineralization, that's when the problem starts. So it's just a lifestyle, basically.
Yeah, that's powerful. So steak versus goldfish crackers, apple versus goldfish crackers, totally different outcomes.
Or just pretzels and gummy bears, like total different outcomes. And maybe calories are the same even. Like literally, it's not about calories. I learned over the weekend in a mastermind that the heuristic, mostly here in America, is probably you learn calories. And that is roughly how we estimate. And there is such a thing as if it fits your macros and calories count. And I agree, calories are king. But first is health. Aesthetics just follows. But health is what nutrients do you get in these calories? You could compare just, let's say, a liver with a normal chicken breast. Those are actually both good foods. But when it comes to nutrients, probably the chicken liver has more nutrients than normal chicken fillet. So it's more about what can you get, what is the most bang for your buck nutrients in certain foods. And calories come second. That's how I'm teaching it. We scan every single patient on day one when they come into our clinic, usually from abroad. They fly in and we scan them on an in-body scan and we see their body composition. Why does a dentist care about your body composition? That is actually the blueprint to your health, because what I'm doing is not just working on teeth. I'm working on creating a blueprint that melts teeth with overall body. That's the entrance to the body. So if I scan the whole body, see the body composition and see, you have almost no muscle and a lot of body fat, we know how to work around it. And I see your ideal body weight. And based on this ideal body weight, I'm giving you recommendations on how to become the architect of your health. And in that phase, you're going to rebuild your whole gut system. You're going to rebuild your hormones. You're going to work on your blood sugar management, on everything, insert bracket. And you provide the building blocks for teeth, heart, and stone, and bones. Because that's how nature designed us. There is no such thing as a tooth decay if you're healthy and live with nature accordingly. But we don't. We like flipped it completely. That's why we need biohacking, because we're living in LA or we're living in London, huge cities, tons of people, EMFs all around, toxins in the water and depleted soils. That's when you need the red light, when you're not going out in the sun anymore. And I know I'm right now in Venice on the beach. I'm tanned, but most people there, they're not outside. You know what it is? Yeah, but I think what we're designed for was literally go to the beach, walk outside, barefoot in the sand, in the sea, get sunlight. This is actually working for your biochemistry. This creates strong bones and teeth because you're absorbing minerals through the sea. Walking in the sand, barefoot, you get silica and electrons, which is partially the structure of your body. Then you eat proteins from the animals and stuff you could hunt and fish. And then maybe you have some fruit and fiber, and that is good for your microbiome and gives you energy, honey. And that's it. It's super simple. But you know what we usually do, like go in a supermarket and watch what they put on the what is this? The
aisles.
Not just the aisles, but once you're on the belt. Is it the belt where you like put the stuff
belt,
and then
at
you
the
buy
checkout.
the checkout? Yeah. Look what they put on the checkout. There's a pizza, there's maybe the goldfish crackers, there's a Coke, maybe cigarettes, not even water actually. And it works.
Candy bars. That's where you get the candy bars.
You can live somewhat. But is this an optimal lifestyle? No. But it shows that it's unhealthy shows first at your teeth. Tooth decay, I can see initial glance, the whole body's decaying. Simple.
It's a huge warning sign.
Yeah, red flag straight away. But the dentist is not trained to teach you whole body health. In university, conventional dentistry, in my opinion, is just outdated. It is a fine art. Completely, you have to have the skills, right? Manual work, it's creative, it's artsy, but I think the only thing we talked about is over the weekend with my mastermind, literally the profession is you take care of holes. And if someone comes back, you take care of another hole. That's so bad. It's so boring. It's literally a garage car system. You can fill it and drill it and build it.
Tooth mechanic, dentist. In Germany, actually, when you graduate, you're called Zahnarzt. That translates to tooth doctor. We're still mechanics in Germany too, but I like the title actually. Why are we not putting the doctor back to the mechanic and do both? That's what I'm training. This is actually what I'm working. That's my life's work. It's creating a true biodentistry global standard that has the highest skill entry when it comes to the profession, when it comes to the dental excellence, but bringing in lifestyle, nutrition, functional medicine, longevity, performance, and create a new profession from the technician to the health expert through something I call biodentistry 3.0. Why? Because I want to help as many people as possible out there suffering with chronic health disease, which shows first in the mouth. Yeah.
It's insane.
We need this. I'm so grateful for you. So grateful.
Thanks.
And, just even staying with that same paradigm of being a tooth mechanic versus shifting to an expert in overall human wellness, right? And understanding how powerful our teeth are in that whole equation. And like you said, just being one of our body's first red flags or warning signs. And also someplace that, and this is going to circle us back. I don't want to forget about this. In thinking about the oral microbiome and just the diversity there, like this robust diversity, and understanding that our bodies, we see this very solid thing, but we're mostly made of bacteria ourselves. We have far more bacteria than we have human cells, but this is creating this overall template of who we are. And
exactly.
When it comes to dental care, I want to ask you about eating things specifically that are known to have high amounts of probiotics.
Oh, yeah.
Does that have an impact? Can we improve the health of our saliva potentially when eating fermented foods?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Because it's the same as in the gut. It just starts in the mouth. Of course, if you eat fermented foods, you already have contact with probiotics and a prebiotic. Prebiotic is mainly literally for the gut because the colon needs it. But yeah, the mouth has specific probiotics, will help there. Even in my own toothpaste design, we have a specific probiotic. It's a spore from Russia that actually is an immune modulator. So you're completely right. I think we're 90+% symbiont. Most of it is bugs. I'm just referring to bugs because it's anaerobic bacteria, it's bacteria, it's parasites, it's viruses, it's commensal, it's all of it. And when you read social media or books, everything is bad. No, they're our friends. Even Lyme borreliosis is our friend if our ecosystem is in harmony and balanced and modulated. It's never about killing anything. And everything we do with oral care and medical care is disinfect, nuking the oral microbiome, taking the mouthwashes and the toothpaste. It kills the good part. This is your immune system. This is your first defense. Those are your friends. There is no such thing as bad bugs. Of course, depending on what you feed them, maybe the bad bugs overpower, right? So we have to work on getting it modulated again. It's like in the garden. You have some weeds there, right? You don't want to just burn them down and hope that everything else grows. You have to literally take care of it. And if you had, for example, previous dental repair, you had a metal crown, a metal filling, you have a root canal, or you have jawbone inflammation, you're never going to have a balanced ecosystem. That is the most disrupting thing for your ecosystem, because that's basically mechanics designed to work for a robot, for a Terminator, but not for us. That's not the way how you came out of your mom, right? So that will affect your microbiome, that will affect your gums, that will affect your brains, everything. Like there's a new study came out is that the brain of Alzheimer's disease, or Alzheimer's, could actually be triggered by bacteria from the mouth. So there's PG, one of the bad bugs you learn in university is Streptococcus mutans, which is the tooth decay problem. But PG, Porphyronas gingivalis, weird name, that is the one that causes bleeding gums and then the periodontitis, the inflammation of the jawbone, so that your teeth get loose. As soon as this enters the bloodstream, like through the inflammation of the gums, leaky gum, it can go into your brain and causes plaque, like beta amyloid plaque, because it has specific enzymes called gingipains that cause inflammation, even neuroinflammation, and triggers all this. So maybe oral health is more important than you think. We know that it goes to the heart. These bacteria can also go to your joint. So it's directly connected to rheumatoid arthritis, Alzheimer's. Think about that. Yeah. Literally, the mouth is the entrance to the body, and the mouth is not inside the body. So the gum here is the skin here. You know that if you cut this all the time and it bleeds, bacteria go in, right? But in the mouth, you don't think about it. But you have bleeding gum. So it's constantly an open door to get bacteria in the wrong time, at the wrong place. Yeah. The gum and the gut needs to be sealed. And the gum is the gut. It's outside body. This is what people don't understand, I think. That's what no dentist understands this. This is not what we learn. Not at all. Nothing what we just talked is the university. That's just the entrance card for the mechanics. Not about the whole body health.
Thank God you're here and changing this, because it's so true. I think people would be
sole mission, I think.
I think people would be shocked to know how many chronic diseases are dramatically increased. Your risk is dramatically increased if you have gum disease or if you have tooth decay. Yes. Like the relationship. You just mentioned a couple: Alzheimer's, arthritis.
You could literally say the missing link to open bracket health problem could be caused by the mouth, by oral health, like gut health, thyroid, hormones, brain, whatever you come up with. If the mouth is not sorted and not the way it should supposed to be, that would be the trigger, especially if you're already trying everything. And I know in our realm, in the bubble of health, people are trying everything. They're on a nice diet. They take their supplements. They actually go outside in the sun and ground and look into, and do all these different things, workout, movement, and you should. But most of them still have the brain fog. They still have maybe the skin eczema. And then they usually go straight to something specific. They work on the spiritual health, which they should. They invest in 10 pairs ozone and do this a year. They invest in chiropractics and do this a year for their joint health. They invest in IVs, in hyperbaric, in tons of crazy things that I'm doing in my clinic too. But there's one block in between that they're missing, and that's oral health. That would be the missing link. This is foundational to get you on your path to optimal health. You have to start in the mouth. After you sorted your lifestyle, this one comes first. You have to now finally know when to time what. And that's why I also need to be very precise on how I teach, because I'm spearheading the biological dentistry for over a decade now. If I tell you now go see a biological dentist, it's not going to work, because there's no trademark, no standard. It's the wild, wild west. People can just say, I'm a biological dentist. I learned from Dom. I read his book, and then they market it heavily on their webpage. Who's suffering? The guest, the patient. So that's why that is my life's work, to create a true biodentistry global standard. The minimum care that once you see one of us, I know you're going to get the right help and we're going to improve. And this is the investment that takes you to the next level. and not cost you money and you go downhill again. The goal for us is you come to see us phase 1, biggest detox, take out the metals, the root canals, the cavitations, while being on a strong healing protocol. And then for 4 months, it all heals. And after 4 months, you need to come back to get your teeth, the smile, the function, the aesthetics. But after that, I'm never going to see you again as a dental patient. It's the complete opposite to conventional dentistry, which is a recurring business for holes. So you can come back for health optimization, and maybe we check you once a year if you're close by, local, and we'll check first your in-body scan, your body composition. You will check your vitamin D3 level. We will check your nutrition. Are you still on point? Because if you are, you're never going to see a dentist again for a hole, because the hole is a sign of nutrient deficiency and the wrong lifestyle. That is literally the way how we're changing our profession. And it took me more than a decade to get accepted in university. Finally, this year on our Congress of the ISMI, the International Society for Metal-Free Implantology, basically all of the dentists and doctors agreed, finally, and this is only a little bit, they agreed, dentists are the only medical profession that put function, aka the bite, over the health of the rest of the body. Putting various materials in your body that are just not supposed to be there and leaving dead organs in there. Stuff like this.
What do you mean by that, dead organs?
So I'm always asking 3 questions, right? Do you have any metals in the mouth? Have you had a root canal treatment or removed any wisdom teeth? And root canal treatment is a fine art in dentistry, but a root canal treated tooth is essentially a dead body part, because a tooth is a live organ. It has a blood supply, and in that pulp, it's called a pulp, you have an immune system that fights off bacteria and produces recovery and creates new dentin, so new parts of the tooth from the inside. But once you go get a root canal treatment, or a root canal in layman's terms, we take out the vital parts of the tooth. The whole blood supply is gone. The whole nervous system is gone, the whole lymph system. And then we clean it, disinfect it, and put some plastic in it, and put a cap on top to bite on it. So essentially, we leave something dead in there. It's literally something dead. It would be like, imagine a gangrenous foot, or like a diabetic toe, or diabetic leg even. It's the same. I'm a bit over-exaggerating, but imagine you have this, and in medicine, you wouldn't usually take that off and seal everything. But we would just kind of like put plastic in there and a bag over it and let you walk with it. It's not working. So no medical department will allow such thing. But because it's in your jawbone, no one sees it, you can put a nice cap on top, you're okay. So a root canal in biological dentistry for us is a short-term temporary to get you out of pain. But for long-term, we have to remove this chronically infected tooth and give you a biocompatible solution, something that works for your body and is at least neutral. Would I love to have kept your real healthy tooth? Of course. But you had a tooth decay and massive pain, we have to help you. Like, tooth pain is the worst. It's migraine. It's directly inside your brain. So root canal is actually initially helping you. But it leaves a dead organ, and this can be the trigger of all your health problems. I'm not saying it's killer number 1. I'm not saying the root canal kills you or you die from it. I'm just saying you try everything already. For 20 years even. Sometimes I see people 20, 30 years not getting healthier. Then they come back. We take good care and take out all root canals, place ceramic implants, take the cavitations and the metals. And they tell you the next time you see them, oh, for 30 years I was suffering from chronic migraine. I saw you and it's gone. And I'm just thinking, I'm getting goosebumps. I'm just thinking, this poor lady, her whole life from 18 to 53, she had migraines, which is hell. And then I just took care of the oral interference, what it's called, took out the chronic inflammation and the toxins, and the body was able to heal itself. I'm not the healer. I'm just helping the body go back to where it was. And this is powerful. If you experience this with every single guest, you kind of like know why I'm creating a new profession, because this is missing in university. This was, for me, what's missing in university was, it's just mechanics. I love mechanics. But what about the patient? Why is he not getting healthy? I feel that doctors need to make sure they guide their guests or their patients towards health. We're not the healers. We're just helping the bodies heal. But as long as there's stuff in there, this part you cannot biohack. It's unnatural. A dentist put it there. Why do you think is normal? Why do you think you should keep this forever? Also, why do you think it's never going to be remodeled? You also remodel a house. This is the house you live in. And once you see us, we remodel with high-tech skills once in a lifetime, and you're never going to see us again. That's the goal. That's why most people probably fly in to us. For over a decade, it's become a destination place. Usually you stay for 7 to 10 days. We remove the metal safely. We take out the root canal treated teeth, special protocols for that. because those are high risk procedures. We put in the ceramic implants, we take care of the cavitations, we give you temporaries, we give you a guideline, a blueprint to live for the next 4 to 6 months so you really build bone. Then you come back, you get your nice teeth, and I never see you again. And now it's time to scale this globally, to build the same clinic. It's like my flagship clinic, the blueprint in Germany, the DNA, health and aesthetics. Health and aesthetics. Health first, aesthetics follow. This is now going to, I think now it's solid as an oak, and it's literally there to bring it to globally. Because why should everyone fly to us? Like, I mean, should be one in LA, right? Yeah. There should be one in Florida. There should be one in Long Island. There should be one everywhere. So then we can literally help and change the game. But it's coming from the top down. It doesn't work other way around.
Yes. It's so powerful, man. It's so powerful. So you've mentioned a couple of times of getting the metals out of the mouth and also having metal-free approaches moving forward. Why is that important?
So metals are essentially, you can repair everything with the metals. Like dentists are very creative when it comes to repairing your teeth, right? You know the silver black fillings, that is like usually covered by the insurance. It's called silver fillings, but it's essentially mercury fillings. Those were there for ages. Finally, this year, 2025, they're banned in Europe. Not in America, though. They contain mercury, 50% mercury. That's the most toxic, non-radioactive element known to men, guys. Sick. And then there's gold crowns. There's various different metals we're using, chromium, palladium, even nickel. Then if you lost a tooth, a dental implant is usually, in 99% of all cases, still worldwide, titanium, which is a metal sticking in your jawbone, being an antenna. So metals come with a variety of health challenges. And in biological dentistry, the way how I teach this in Biodentistry 3.0, we go completely metal-free. This journey, like finding out about all this 15 years ago and going deep into the rabbit holes, this led me to create this concept of Biodentistry 3.0 and become one of the first ever ceramic implant specialists worldwide. I personally have placed more than 5,000 ceramic implants. I don't even count anymore. And this is in itself for implantology a lot, because I just wanted to become world champion in doing this in my 30s. But it's just a tool, right? So, but for most dentists out there, whatever we do, it's science fiction. They don't even know. They will tell you as a guest, as a patient, ceramic implants, they break. Without metal, it doesn't work. They just don't know the knowledge. They don't have the software updates. They're not there yet. And that's why I founded the Institute for Biological Dentistry and certify people and train all this. So it's there, but it will take time. So I'm doing it for almost 20 years now, and it's still pioneer's work. So metal-free is the goal. But in order to go metal-free, you don't want to just go to see any dentist to remove and rip out the fillings. That could be actually detrimental to your health. You need to first get informed. Maybe you go to our directory and find someone who knows how to remove metal safely. So everyone that got taught by me, I call them the real biodentists. Even level 1 knows how to remove metal safely. They might not be able to do a ceramic implant, but they know one of the level 2 or 3 that do. But that's my goal, like create a community of dentists, of like-minded health experts that are co-elevating, not competing. Dentists and doctors usually are in a competitive scarcity mindset. They're afraid of others. We are working together. For you as the guest, you come in and we'll guide you. And maybe they can do the metal. They should be able to do the metal removal safely. And once you have done this, they might be able to give you a ceramic implant instead of a root canal, or deal with the cavitations, or they know someone else. It's on my directory. So that is the goal where we work to. So entry level, I'm level 5 creator of the flagships. So that is obviously the platinum stuff. There's everything existing. Like we have it all in our clinic. You don't need all this. But in between, we have certified dentists that at least have our minimal standard care, which means they will take care of your nutrition. They use my bone healing protocol. They use the food design concept. They have at least IV protocols in the clinic. They can do ceramic implants. They know cavitation surgery. They can do the full shebang. They might not have the complete health oasis I've created, including hyperbaric, red light beds, intravenous laser, all these things, but closely too. And they run on my protocols. That's so important. And I only realized it myself teaching for more than a decade. And I was always very straight away giving everything because I thought everyone is co-elevating. But what happened is most people take a little bit, spin off and do their own island, which is fine too. But it doesn't help our patients and it doesn't help change the way how dentistry is done. That is my single goal. change this to help as many as possible. That's why I have to kind of like control it and create the true BGS, Biodentistry Global Standard. And that's about to happen. It's already happening, and now it's about to scale.
Amazing. So I know that you're championing this changeover to metal-free dentistry, but what can having these metals in our bodies do, in our teeth? What can this do to our health?
So yeah, basically there's a couple of challenges when it comes to metals these days in our environment or in our body. Like the body is where we live in, right? That's the house. So metals can be in itself super toxic, such as the silver black amalgam filling, which is 50% mercury, most toxic non-radioactive element known to man, right? Strictly, it's just toxic. We have to remove those as highly toxic, hazardous waste out of the clinic. Weird. Then metals can also be like gold, and that stuff can just be immune disruptors. They can trigger autoimmunity, can trigger allergies. Literally gold and heavy metals, everything can do this. And the third thing is we are living in a world of EMFs, 3G, 4G, 5G, everything is loaded. And you know how an antenna works, right? It's usually a metal post. So whenever you have any metal in your body, on your body, like on your teeth, in your jawbone, they are going to be an antenna for your outside environment. So amplifying radiation in your jawbone, in your mouth. This will lead to oral galvanism, kind of like creating a battery there that leaches out more ions, creates more toxicity for your liver and your system and your cells. I mean, the cells take up the heavy metals and the stuff, but it also can just heat up dental implants, for example, up to 2 to 3 degrees. So the bone basically heats up. Our body doesn't like heat. You know, when you get 2 to 3 degrees fevers, it melts down. So it's not good. Creates problems. And it can also make you electro-hypersensitive. That's a thing. People can tune into radio stations when they're close by with their metals. Like that would be a nice thing to have. But oftentimes they hear voices, they get crazy in their head. And your body is electric, right? We know that a body is electric. Good book by Becker, Body Electrics. So it will just interfere with your own immune system and your own nervous system. So you literally a walking antenna. Mental health problems can be a thing, autoimmunity, skin eczema, everything again. So metals are not supposed to be in your body, nowhere. I know in some medical departments we're not there yet to give you complete metal-free, like I think they're almost there to give you a complete ceramic hip or knee, but I'm not quite sure, so I don't want to say anything wrong. But in dentistry, in what we do, Biodentistry 3.0, the future of our profession, we do this. And I do it personally for more than a decade. Complete metal-free. We even remove every single titanium implant and replace with a ceramic implant for our guests. Because our guests are obviously a specific bubble. They are coming in either being super chronically sick, needing the entrance to a health journey, or they're already like us, wanting the extra edge, entrepreneurs, high-performance athletes, longevity. That change towards this. For real longevity, you have to start in the mouth. For super chronic sick, you also have to start in the mouth. Because killer number one is chronic inflammation. And you have silent inflammation in your jawbone and toxicity, and your liver will suffer from it. You have to see a real biological dentist on your journey to optimal health. And not only after checking in 15 other boxes that you just listened to on social media. Nail the nutrition, nail the lifestyle, get yourself anabolic, but then it's time to check for metals. Did you have some root canals, and did they pull your wisdom teeth? Then you're quite good. If that comes in on the journey as like the steak in between, and then after that we go into the specific details, I would say 80% of all the guests I see are fine with optimizing the nutrition, staying on that lifestyle forever, get the right nutrients for genetic bypass they need, maybe some methylation, whatever they do need. We check for that. Get rid of all that's the biggest detox is taking out previous dental repair, right? That's the biggest detox you will ever do because you don't have to do any chelation. It's coming out. After that, there's metal, scrap metal on the chair, dead body parts. Like it's all out there. I can show you pictures. It's nasty. Then they heal. And usually 80% of their symptoms are gone already, and for some it's 100%. But there will still be 20% of the people seeing us that they need more. They need the spiritual guidance. But I believe when it comes to spiritual stuff, if you go the dispenser route, for example, if this body is cleaner, the way it came out of your mom, like a little kid, you're more connected. So it's easier to get to the spiritual side because basically body, mind, and spirit are anyways one. But I feel like if the body is the foundation, it's easier to reach. Should do this. You maybe then invest into now everything's clean in your mouth. Your body's kind of like cleaner. The sauce is gone. Then we maybe go into the cell and see, hey, we need to have a heavy metal cellular chelation process. Or you have to see a shaman. Or you want to see, let's say you want to work more on your body, or you have to do hyperbaric protocols, whatever. Now is the time for specific details to get you up to speed. Or we have to work, oftentimes we have to now work on optimizing the microbiome further intercellularly. So that's, again, heavy metal chelation and parasite treatments are oftentimes after 3 to 6 months after you've taken care of the oral health. Then it comes. Then we go to the cell. First build the body, get that all clean, do the 80%, then go for specifics. And when it comes to spiritual health, if you want to go that route, if you go to history, when it comes to anything science, right? Science is always, I think we had that last year already, like science, everyone quotes papers these days and research, and my colleagues are the worst, like dentists and doctors, they always need research papers. Research is not science. Research is the paper we agreed on after we did the science, right? Next level is the science. And I feel like when you go to history, in like Middle Ages, the church would allow only spirituality, right? Galileo said the earth is round, not flat, got killed. Copernicus was a priest, I think, and a mathematician. And he only presented his work, the mathematical work, once he died, because he knew it's going to be killed. And I think it took another 200 years until this work was accepted as new science, when they flipped the script and church would only allow science. And everyone that doing spiritual stuff, the naturopathic doctors, the healers, they would be burned in the fires, right? That was the other 500 years. But I feel now, these days, we're melting it and it's getting balanced again because it's all the same. And you can read the book, all of my real biodentists and most of my patients, I let them read The Biology of Belief by Bruce Lipton. Because Bruce Lipton is a science guy, a research guy. And there were some things he couldn't explain with normal science. So he went into quantum physics and realized, oh, it's all science. So spirituality is the same. So he kind of like says our body is just the vessel. It's kind of like the TV. The broadcast is the universe. And if the TV breaks, the broadcast is still there, right? You just replace the TV. You cannot, unfortunately, replace that body. Therefore, this needs to be clean and healthy like a kid. Keep that young as possible for as long as possible. You will be more connected to the spirit, the soul, the global consciousness, whatever you want to call it, right? Those are receptors in your skin, proteins that attract it. And if they're not clean because they're, for example, loaded with toxins that leach from the mouth, or with, let's say, parasites, infections that also can directly be connected to the mouth, you're never going to be close there. You're probably going to have voices in your head. You're probably going to be distracted. You're not in your spirit. And I'm there to inspire, hopefully, because I had all these problems too. And inspire comes from a Latin word called inspirare, which means be in your true spirit. So I think that's authenticity, that's being real. That's why I also practice what we preach is in my real biodents. I call them real be, that equals be real. You have to practice what you preach. Only then you can guide your guests to optimal health. And they're all friends. Like, it's so good. Like, every single guest that I see, we have one day together where I help you, guide you and help you with your health optimization. We never do general anesthesia. You're always going to be awake, a little bit of local. And it's amazing. Like, it's a true museum of life moment. And that's what I'm there for. Like, that's my goal. Like, everything is experience. And this is going to be a museum of life moment. When I'm 80 years old, I know I was sitting here with Shawn and we had an amazing talk and helped many people out there.
Yes.
Yes.
So, getting our bodies healthy, it's helping to reduce the static on the line with that connection. And a little bit earlier, and I want to circle back to this because this is the most common thing for people when they're thinking about their teeth, they're thinking about their own oral care practices. Oh, yeah. And you mentioned the detrimental effects of these conventional mouthwash, just basically coming in and just destroying the microbiome. What are some of the biggest mistakes that people are making with their brushing and flossing practices?
A great question. So I think conventional oral care regimen is just brainwashing us. What we learned over years is never got challenged. So that is a band-aid for poor lifestyle. So we do a toothpaste that you can find in every aisle. It's always the same. It is containing fluoride, which is an active ingredient, but it has toxins in there, all chemicals, titanium dioxide, triclosan, carrageenan, sucralose, various different things that are designed to disinfect, even titanium dioxide because it's white, right? That's how we are designed. Then we should do mouthwashes. Like all the aisles are full of the blue, the green, the brown mouthwash stuff. That stuff is highly acidic. It is ethanol based. It again nukes the oral microbiome, and then you eat crap food. That's the oral regime. Maybe you do floss, and you do this twice a day. That is what you think is good for you, and I'm not blaming you. That's how we're designed, and that's how we're trained. That's how we, as dentists, graduate from school. That is the industry standard that we should challenge. That's conventional dentistry. Biological dentistry thinks different and sees the mouth as the entrance to the body and the microbiome. So we do not kill anything. Therefore, no toxins. Go toxic-free toothpaste, but not just go fluoride-free, because I don't think you have your lifestyle in check yet. Nutrition is not on point. So instead of the fluoride as active ingredient, because Team Biological Dentistry is fluoride-free, find a toothpaste that is clean and has an active ingredient. The active ingredient you're looking for is called hydroxyapatite. That's what I designed in my toothpaste. And you can find similar, unfortunately not in the store yet. You have to go online. Online you can. Hydroxyapatite, keep this in mind. The tooth, the hard part is called enamel, is made of hydroxyapatite. Instead of chemical mouthwash, just buy yourself coconut oil and use extra virgin coconut oil that you probably have at home for cooking for 5 to 10 minutes, swish it around, spit it out. That's coconut oil pulling. Invest in a tongue scraper, preferably copper. $10 investment. Scrape your tongue 10 seconds every morning. And if you pair this with the perfect nutrition and maybe a few micronutrients such as vitamin D3, vitamin K2, magnesium, zinc, boron, methylated B vitamins, I have that all designed in one box. I think that's it. It's very simple. Yeah. Pair it with nutrition. That is the foundation again. If the nutrition and the micronutrients are on point, you can probably even get away without even brushing your teeth. But that's not to do right now. Like, I cannot tell you to not brush your teeth. I can go away with it. My teeth are hard as stone, but on a solid foundation. But that's where we walk towards, right? That would be ideal in the future. We're teaching the moms before they even conceive, during pregnancy, how to build healthy childs, how to be able to breastfeed, breastfeeding, the first orthodontic initial treatment. Like, that might save braces in the future. Stuff like this, that's all education down the line. Like, that's the goal. We're becoming a health expert. My kids will never see a dentist for any drilling. No, not at all. No treatments for holes. Hopefully I was able, my wife, professional breastfeeder, was able to breastfeed my first one for 18 months. 18 months is the minimum. Second, I think 22, third, even over 30 months, and the fourth baby still breastfeeding. She's 27 months. So that is already creating a foundation for growth. Pulling the jaw forwards, sucking on the nipple pulls the jaw forwards, right? It's a treatment for big jaw, for space. And then at the same time, you breathe through your nose. That helps to shape the palate, makes wide faces that later on hopefully have space for all the teeth. Breastfeeding is not going to be enough. You have to then have the nutrition, the lifestyle, the nutrients for the next 15, 16, 17 years. And then you have teeth hard as stone, solid foundation, probably, hopefully, never need braces, and will breathe through your nose instead of your mouth, and have a better immunity and maybe even a better bonding, because that is also amazing about breastfeeding. Truly sorry for everyone who can breastfeed, but if you can, try. It's the best. Breast is best.
Yeah, that's a t-shirt worthy right there. But yeah, as you know, many cultures were educated to believe that formula was better, and it's giving everything that the baby needs. And, but that's a whole other can of worms to open up. But things have changed, thankfully. Yeah. And there's a resurgence of the boobie. But leaning into this oral care practice, I think for a lot of people, their main concern is their teeth looking white.
Oh, yeah, true.
And also making sure that their breath is not stank. All right. So what about those concerns? Let's talk about stank breath first. Like what's the cause of that? And if we're not coming at it with the conventional, with the Colgate, if we're not hitting it with the Crest, if we're not hitting it with all these powerful mouthwashes, the Listerine, all that stuff, how do we make sure that our breath isn't stank? Let's talk about that one first.
So your stank breath is not a chemical mouthwash deficiency, 100%. It is, again, it's probably coming from the gut. It's coming from the microbiome. It's coming from your nutrition. It's coming from previous dental repair. It's a whole multitude of things. It's definitely a microbiome. So 100%, if you are doing chemical mouthwash, you will get stank breath over time because you wipe out and nuke everything that you need for good breath. So what I would do instead is skip that straight away and do the coconut oil pulling. The oil pulling will definitely get rid of a few bad bacteria. It's also fat-soluble toxins will bind to the coconut oil, and it's soothing to the gums, and you don't nuke anything. So you just have to do it 5 minutes a day and spit it out afterwards. You could also, against bad breath, one of the simple strategies I'm using every single morning, 10 seconds, anchor it to the mirror. When you see yourself in the mirror, take that tongue scraper, preferably copper, and scrape the back of your tongue. At the beginning, there might be a little bit of like a white stuff, a white coating coming off. That's overnight food debris, that's bacteria, that's toxins. That will help a ton with against bad breath, against the stank breath, for sure. And then eat good food, eat real food, skip the processed foods. And again, I have to come back to dental repair. If you still have metals or root canals or cavitations, previous work done, oftentimes that's dysbiotic in itself because the dead tooth will stank your mouth up. And every single root canal that I removed, it stinks. It stinks like if you put an old fish into the bin. That stinks really nasty, right? Like hardcore after 2 days. But this in a tiny amount, you'll have it every single day in your mouth. You can kind of compensate it with like using chewing gums and all these things, but it's oftentimes the cause for bad breath because it's just that stuff, that body part. The dead body part over time is to be decomposed. And in nature, what decomposes everything in nature? You know?
Bacteria.
Bacteria and mainly fungi. Fungi they're not bad. They just come.
Recycling.
They're recycling. Once there's something dead in your body, once there is a circuit break in your body, and a root canal is a circuit break for the meridian, it's dead energy. They're there. There will be the candida, there will be the mold. And this stinks in itself too, and they decompose. And they don't just decompose the tooth, they decompose the whole meridian, kind of like. It's crazy, but that's how the body works. The body's not a single unit. This tooth is directly connected to fascia and your nervous system called meridian system, maybe even to your toe. The tongue, even just by fascia, is directly connected. The tongue is connected to your toe. The fascia goes down there. So that's why a tongue tie, for example, is also very important for your posture. The bite is the thermostat for that. But literally, every single tooth has a connection to the autonomic nervous system. That is usually woo-woo in medical world, but this is ancient medical world in China and Asia. It's called meridians. And meridians are real. That's mainly the fascia and the nervous system, but it's the body electric I was talking to. So if you have a dead organ, let's say you have this tooth dead, the front one, many people have because with 7 years old, they smashed a new teeth, got a root canal. Happens. And this is directly connected to the kidney and bladder meridian. And it's going to be a circuit breaker there. So the meridian doesn't flow as good. And this is also could be directly connected to your eyesight, to your neck pain, and again, to your adrenals, to your hormone system. And you never thought about it because no one told you, because a dentist doesn't know, and your medical doctor probably also doesn't know about it. So that's why we're also the bridge in between medical and dental and bringing the mouth back to the system. And yeah, from the technician to the health expert, that's the future of our profession. Biodentistry 3.0. It's literally a new category. That's not even dentistry. It's just the next level. It's not against conventional dentistry. It's not against conventional dentistry at all. It's literally just the upgrade. It's a full new software update. And this is how I teach. The Institute for Biological Dentistry, or the BGS Institute, we certify future real biodentists. And this is not just a course. The intro is online. That is the software update. So we speak the same language. iOS 16 or iOS 18.3. You know what I mean? So you and me, we speak the same language. If you're interested and a dentist, you have to do this before you see me. But then the certification starts. We need reps, we need experience, we need to see other different people. I'm working on co-elevation, bringing in the best worldwide real biodentists that teach too and guide you on your journey to become one of us as fast as possible. That's the goal. Like create a new community, and it's fun. It's open. It's nothing closed. It's not a tribe. It's really an open community. It's an ecosystem. It's amazing.
Amazing.
I'm happy to be the leader there, so it's okay. I like to do that.
I'm happy too, man. I'm happy too. So I want to get some quick hot takes on a few things.
Yeah, sure.
So I mentioned whiter teeth
Yeah,
a little bit
also.
earlier.
Yeah.
What do you think about these light treatments that I see people using? That I'm sure a lot of people have seen these light treatments for teeth.
So there's a new trend on Instagram, right to jail. So we went to the supermarket and checked out all the whitening stuff there. Everything's right to jail.
Right to jail.
Right to jail. It's just bullshit. Like it's literally the worst toxin toothpaste, and on top peroxide or anything more chemical. I get the vanity part. So first of all, if you have a right nutrition and get your minerals in there, like and all the nutrients they need, your teeth are crystals. They are more white if they're just healthy. But then, of course, you can polish them. But you go to see a professional, right? Go to see an expert really a dentist, a cosmetic dentist who gives you an in-office bleaching. Why? Because they're just doing it better, more professional, doing it once instead of these whitening strips or abrasive toothpaste. They might be cheaper, but they cost you your enamel. And below your enamel, there's going to be yellow stuff. It's called dentin. And you never get it back. You will have to have some sort of veneers later on. So if you want to have your healthy teeth bleached, first of all, make them strong so that they're not sensitive. But then go see a dentist for an in-office bleaching. They will know what they're doing. It's a one-time thing and you come out with white teeth. Invest that kind of money. It's not too bad. And this will actually be the safest option. And I get it. I want to have white teeth too. I think white teeth, again, health and aesthetics. I think in nature they're more white. Unless you don't brush, but we do. We're socially accepted animals now. Yeah. We brush our teeth.
And what about the light?
So the light stuff you're doing at home is kind of like a tooth whitening. Usually there's some sort of UV light and you have a photo activated substance, mostly peroxide, or that you put on your teeth and let's get activated by light. This is the same thing we do in a clinic, in the office, but more professional. I would do it, just to be sure, do it at home. I'm also not qualified to say anything about it because I've not tested this myself. But usually it's a bit more harsh, a bit more aggressive, and you don't have an expert behind it who knows what to do. So you might be doing more harm than good with the light treatments.
So this is something, again, to see a professional.
I personally would go see a professional.
Yeah.
And actually, is really not too expensive. I think if you go to get an in-office bleaching, I don't know about America, but maybe it's 500 euros. But you have it done once and for all. Then you take care of your health, you keep them clean. But you never go do this while you have sensitive teeth, because teeth whitening will make your teeth more sensitive for short term. And it might be very, very uncomfortable doing this in the clinic. I can tell this because about 15 years ago, I was subject 1 for my dad's clinic to try that bleaching. And I didn't have my lifestyle in check back then. And it hurt so much. And I tried it again a couple of years ago, just 1 50-minute session. I had no problem at all. But my teeth are now hard. There's no sensitivity. So if you have tooth sensitivity, this is a deficiency of certain nutrients. And this is something I've designed like over the years, protocols. Even in a one-stop shop supplement called Tooth Shield that has exactly this. We need vitamin D3, vitamin K2, and cofactors. That is magnesium, zinc, boron, methylated B vitamins, and biotin, manganese, molybdenum, a couple of things, a whole host of things. This is all in one, right? We tried to kind of like do this in Whole Foods by getting all the supplements. I ended up having like a complete basket full of different supplements. That's not my idea. I have a company for this, for longer than my clinic, since 2014. But I'm a nerd when it comes to nutrients because I hate having 1,000 supplements in the pantry. I want to have like a few that work. And that's how I create and formulate things. But yeah, it's definitely your teeth that are getting built from within. And if you're tooth sensitivity, it is not a deficiency of fluoride. It is a nutrient deficiency.
Got it.
Super simple.
Another hot take I want to get from you. What about xylitol gum?
I personally like xylitol. We checked out all the gums here at Whole Foods. Xylitol is a double-edged sword. And something on social media is quite unclear, but xylitol is a sugar alcohol, right? And xylitol in dentistry is actually quite good because it's immune modulating. Why? Because the more bad bugs, the Streptococcus mutans that usually feeds on sugar, will feed on the xylitol, but can digest and kind of like blows up. It's kind of like a Trojan horse. However, we don't actually want to kill and nuke everything. So a little bit of xylitol might be immune modulating, but it is an antimicrobial. So therefore, if you do grams and grams per day, you will kill your microbiome in the gut and you might have the runs and all these things. So be careful with these sugar alcohols in microdoses. Let's say 2 to maximum 3 to 4 chewing gums a day that I saw in the store. They usually contain 1 gram of xylitol per chewing gum. So if you chew on 3 per day, 3 grams is probably still fine. If you do 10, it's too much. It's going to be affecting your gut. So you understand the nuances here? Dose dependent. A little bit's fine, too much, not good. But xylitol is probably the best bet. You definitely don't want to do the Wrigley's that could still contain sugar. Even though they still exist. I asked yesterday my friends when we filmed in the store, I asked them, are the yellow Wrigley's still existing? And they said, yeah, many people still chew on them. I actually don't know.
Man, Wrigley's double mint. We got the juicy fruit. We had the
cinnamon ones.
Yeah, the red. What is it called? Yeah. Big Red.
The Big Red.
Big Red.
It's
yeah,
all
man.
sugar bombs.
Man, those commercials were sexy as hell, man.
They were so good.
Big Red was like romantic.
It was,
you know, but it did not feel pleasurable in my kid mouth.
No.
You know, the Big Red, but the.
But did you know they probably still exist?
I'm sorry. What the fuck? What is that? What is that one gum?
Hubba Bubba.
Hubba Bubba.
Hubba Bubba. The ones with the big bubbles.
Yeah, man. Hubba Bubba was the GOAT, man.
It was the best.
And those flavors were bonkers.
It's so good.
Yeah.
But it's just basically candy.
Of course. Yeah.
And do I allow my kids to eat this from time to time? Yeah, sure. They're not going to die from it. It's 80-20 for the kids.
Yeah. Now, what about Big League Chew? Do you know about Big League Chew?
No, what is that?
So this was...
Big
so you know there's
Chew?
chewing tobacco, right? Chewing tobacco?
Yes.
So instead of that, for kids, it was bubble gum, it was shredded bubble gum.
No way.
Yeah, so you had a packet of Big League Chew to be like the baseball players.
So you can kind of like kind of a copy
of It was delicious for like 10 seconds. The flavor just diminishes. But yeah, man, it's practicing to be chewing tobacco. And they're also candy gum. I'm sorry, they're candy cigarettes.
Yeah, I know those. We had those too. The candy cigarettes we did. Oh, that's a good point, actually. The problem with the xylitol gum is that they usually stop tasting good after 2 minutes. That's why people oftentimes do so many of them per day. Not good. Yeah. Versus like literally the nasty ones, they actually work. They keep on tasting quite good, but they're full of crap stuff. Would I eat like an air fryer, or what do they call like the... Oh man. I don't know, like the normal Wrigley, it's still Wrigley's. I think they're white these days, titanium dioxide and aspartame and all the things. Will I eat sometimes one of them if I don't have anything else and I have stank breath? Yeah, not gonna kill me. Do I do this every day? No, of course not. Am I allowing my kids to Hubba Bubba sometimes once a month? Yeah, I will. They're not gonna die from it. I'm working on 80-20. Like for me personally, or for my guests, phase 1 in their treatment is 100% consequent to heal from here to here, heal the gut and be able to repair. After that, it's individual. I would never go lower as 80-20 for the nutritional approach. I'm a 95-5 person. I just love to find the precision. But for my kids, we do 80-20. Literally 80% is the good stuff. Eating whole foods, real food, good breakfast. If they want to have the ice cream, of course they can get the ice cream. They're kids, they love it. And I like ice cream too. I'm the opposite of I learned a lot of my mentors were baby boomers. Baby boomer generation is all about being paranoid instead of naive. I'd rather be naive and have fun than being paranoid. I hate to be paranoid because I feel the placebo of being afraid of everything is the worst.
Nocebo. It's a nocebo effect.
It's the worst.
Yep.
The nocebo is the worst. Literally, rather just do it and don't think about it.
Yeah.
As soon as you think about it, it's always the worst. And I want to have fun. And I want to have the tools and the strategies on how to maneuver through this life in fun, because I still believe and feel we're living the best times. Even though there might be something that is a bit more toxic. If that is too strong for your body, you're too weak. Just build on your body. You get better resilience.
Question. If we don't have our diet really dialed in, maybe we're not even aware of the changes to make right now. Is there anything that people can do after eating?
Oh, yeah.
To, help to protect their teeth?
First of all, stop brushing right after eating. So once you eat, there's always some acidity involved. So usually after eating, your saliva will get a bit more acidic. Therefore, your teeth will demineralize a little bit, losing minerals. But the saliva is designed to catch up and balance out the pH and bring it back. This takes about 30 minutes. So wait for 30 minutes until you brush. Ideally, if you would like to have one perfect, or not perfect, a good, easy scenario to copy how to do all this, I would probably implement it all before breakfast. Like do your tongue scraping, do your mouth, the oil pulling and the brushing with the clean toothpaste before you even eat. And then do it again at night. Oil pulling you only need to do once a day. So at night, probably do the flossing. Instead of oil pulling at night, at morning oil pulling, do flossing at night. Then you would have a good solid strategy. And then at least for bare minimum, get yourself some vitamin D3 and K2 supplement. Or go outside in the sun an hour per day. That would be the bare minimum. And then ideally you pair it with an quite optimal nutrition. So start implementing real food. If you're literally on the side of 20% good food, 80% processed food, try to maneuver this towards the other way around. Baby steps.
Yeah.
Like throw off the Ben and Jerry's at night. Just skip this part and then instead do something more healthy. Like gradually work towards it. No one needs to be perfect. It's progress over perfection. It's your own evolution. It's your discovery of it. This goes like this. You're going to learn new things. Then you kind of want to master it. But in that phase, you're literally going to rethink everything. And then you get it. And then you go for the next things, right? That's how my own evolution took place too. I was sick 20 years ago. I crashed there. So that's why I learned all this, because I'm actually the health expert I would have needed as a 20-year-old. If I would see me now as a 42-year-old, back then when I had my issues, I would trust me. I'm like, this dude's living it. I'm going to do exactly what he tells me. And I hope I'm going to be fine, right? Instead of having no one. That's how I got passionate about all this. I think most of the good doctors or experts I learned from, they all had kind of like their own health issues or some sort of close relative that died or had a problem that they had to figure out. And I love that.
Yeah.
It's a challenge. You overcome. It's like skateboarding. Fall, back up. You're not going to die. Do it again.
Yeah. Your life was qualifying you.
Yeah. That's good. Like yours.
Just to go back really quickly. So that's great advice to not brush right after eating, which a lot of people don't know that. What about rinsing? Water.
Just water. If you drink your coffee, you can just rinse with water. But don't do the brush and stuff. Water is always fine. Rinse with water. You cannot do anything wrong. Might even help you with a little bit less staining from all the coffee and all the matchas and stuff. Yeah.
Got it.
Very simple, actually.
Of course. I mean, you make it all simple. You help us to understand,
it's actually simple.
One of the most important aspects of human health. And just to share what you talked about earlier, and for us to really just let that sink in, this is the most common chronic disease, has to do with our mouth. And it's related to all these other chronic diseases. And so addressing this addresses our health overall. And I appreciate you so much, you taking this time and even coming to hang out. Hopefully this is an annual thing for us.
That would be amazing.
And I'm so excited about the things that you have coming for us. And you've got this toothpaste that you're working on getting here in the US. Yes. It's already overseas.
And I already had the samples for the US. So it's coming for sure. It's probably going to take till October, November, but it's going to be there because trust me, the most asked question was in the last 5 years, Dr. Dome, what toothpaste do you recommend?
Yeah.
And I only want to recommend something that I would personally eat. And I've designed it the way so you and your kids can eat it. That's something you put in your mouth. You want to eat it because the stuff gets absorbed.
Yeah.
So that's the way how I designed it. It has active ingredient, hydroxyapatite in it, probiotic, lactoferrin, coconut oil base, xylitol. Is it the best? I don't know, but I made it. I gave it my best. That's the idea behind it. I'm always going to reiterate. Like that's how I am. If I have new ideas, going to implement it. Same with my supplements. That's my goal. I love to improve. And again, have the evolution installed. Yeah. Also, everyone I'm training, all my dentists, they know me. They know I'm never going to stand still. If I have new stuff and it's better than the rest, the old stuff, I'm going to implement it. It's never going to stand still.
As it should be.
Right?
As it should be. So we're going to keep everybody updated on the toothpaste launch when it happens. And in the meantime and in between time, where's the best place for people to connect with you, to get more education? For the dentists out there, we've got some amazing dentists that listen to the show.
We do actually have amazing dentists, and I feel like they just need someone to guide. And that's why I created all this. So for dentists, it would be ideally the easiest for everyone is my Instagram is Dr. Dome1. So Dome1 actually, in Dome in Germany. In English, you would say Dom, Like that's my abbreviation for Dominik. Domi1 and or Dr. Domi Official, the website. It will directly bring you to my clinic, DNA Health and Aesthetics in Tübingen. The book, It's All in Your Mouth. Various podcasts, including this one, the second time with you. And the supplement companies, the toothpaste, everything. Yeah, I think that's the easiest way to start. And then also the Institute for Biological Dentistry is also mine, and it's going to be linked there. So yeah, that's the central hub. Dr. Domi Official, Dr. Domi1.
I'm so grateful for this. This is going to impact the lives of millions of people, you know, and I know that you're a pioneer, truly.
Yeah,
you're
true.
a game changer. You are somebody who is necessary because the way that things were going has caused a lot of harm. And it's well-intentioned, but it's time to upgrade. And that's your approach. And I appreciate that so much.
Exactly. Just upgrade. I'm not there to belittle anyone or do anything wrong. It's just like we can all co-elevate and make something better. Like all of us together, this is when we can change. And I think we're there. We're actually there to make this impact.
Yeah.
Together.
Amazing.
It's amazing.
Together.
That's the goal. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Facts.
Not lone wolf. Wolf pack.
That's right, the wolf pack. I love it so much, man. Hey, if you like this video, make sure to check out this video right here.
Eyesight and vision are completely separate entities. Eyesight is just our ability to see, whether that's letters on a chart in an eye exam, what the teacher writes on the board in the classroom, or when you're driving, what's on a sign. Vision is far more complex. Vision is how our eyes move together, converge, track, focus, how we process information.